morning everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It's Bank Holiday Monday the 29th of August 2022 and today I'm heading to Blyth Spartans versus Scarborough Athletic in the National League North. So here I'm in Blyth and it has been a very interesting start to the season for the Spartans. They were beaten 1-0 on the first day of the season by Kidderminster, after which Terry Mitchell left the club and has subsequently been replaced by Graham Fenton, who was previously at South Shields, and he started pretty well. They currently find themselves 10th in the National League North table. At the weekend they had a late turnaround to win 2-1 away at Buxton. As for Scarborough, of course newly promoted into this league after winning the Northern Premier League Premier Division playoffs last season, and they're also sort of settling in pretty well really. Currently find themselves 6th in the National League North table, and have had a couple of impressive results, including a 2-0 win away at AFC Fylde. So both teams are going into this game on highs really, so hopefully that will make for a pretty good game this afternoon. I don't think there'll necessarily be a lot in it. I think come the end of the season both these teams will be sort of similarly positioned in mid-table, and I think both teams will probably take that, to be fair. But yeah, let's head to Croft Park and find out how it all unfolds. So Blyth are now out to warm up. They're going to be in their traditional green and white stripes this afternoon. We are still waiting on Scarborough. Right, so Scarborough out warming up and are going to be in the usual red this afternoon. I like to see that. I think these days you get a lot of teams will wear their away strip when it's not necessarily even a colour clash, so good for them. Here come the teams. We're in the way. Stuff like that. Other end. Ooh. Good start to this game. Very good start. Other end. Oh, what save. Scarborough leaving far too many gaps in their defence at the minute. Scarborough need to really sort themselves out defensively here. These things happen. Oh, save. Chance. Oh no. Must be. Totally bizarre goal, but Scarborough have the lead. That's one of the most odd goals I've ever seen. Oh, Brentford. It's a lovely ball. That's another good ball. Offside again. Now, wasteful of chances more than anything. Good off. Scarborough played on injured. Half time, Blyth Spartans 0, Scarborough Athletic 1, and a thoroughly enjoyable half of football there. Blyth will be absolutely kicking themselves with some of the chances they've missed in the first half. I mean, Scarborough have been really open defensively, which is something they've seriously got to address, because if they don't, then you'd think eventually they will be punished. But Blyth have just got to keep a bit more composure in front of goal. I mean, as for Scarborough, have had a few chances themselves, obviously, and do have the lead. I mean, the goal was quite possibly one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Obviously, the keeper's come out, but the players beating him all ends up. But then it looks as though the Blyth player might have got a foot in trying to clear it off the corner, but it's gone off the post back towards the Scarborough player, who's managed to scramble it into the back of the net with a couple of Blyth players in front of him. Like, really bizarre goal, but thoroughly enjoyable match so far, and from a spectator's perspective, really hope it continues like this in the second half. That was a good goal, to be fair. Tidy finish. It was exactly what I've been saying about Scarborough's defence, just been far too open. Well, they've stopped doing it. Ooh, God. Remember the first time everyone... Dance! Oh, sick! He's just trying to slide it through his legs, wasn't he? Yeah. Oh! How would Borough not head here? It's been a high challenge there from a Scarborough player. He's in trouble here, to be honest. Like, unfortunately, there can be no debate about that decision. Like, I know I didn't get it on camera, but right in front of the Spartans dugout, he's gone in high challenge. It's an obvious red card. Dragged it too far. He's given a penalty! Unbelievable! Very harsh. Here we go, Maloney against Mitchell.
2 minutes to go.
4 minutes of added time. This could be a real back to the wall job for Scarborough.
We are leading.
Full-time, Blyth Spartans 1, Scarborough Athletic 2. I don't think anyone in the ground could quite believe it when that was given as a penalty. I mean, his arms are clearly out, but it looked to me as though it's at his belly more than anything. I think all the players on the pitch were getting ready to go into position for the corner. There was certainly no appeals from any Scarborough fans behind the goal who had a perfect view of it. So I think you've just got to say that Blyth were massively hard done by there. I think in terms of the game itself, I think a draw probably would have been a fair result based on the balance of playing, a balance of chances. I think both teams probably had a sort of even amount of spells throughout the course of the game. To be fair to Scarborough, when they went down to 10 men, and there can be no complaints about the red card really. It was a high challenge, and I mean, I know you could argue that it being right in front of the Spartans dugout didn't help matters in terms of would he have got a yellow, would he have got a red, but for me, yeah, it's high, it's definitely red, but they did respond really well to that, and they played it right. And to be fair, if it had finished 1-1, that wouldn't have been a bad result at all for Scarborough given the circumstances. I think as for Blyth though, I think more so than being aggrieved with the penalty decision, more so than the fact that they played what, half hour or so, something like that, against 10 men. I think what they'll be kicking themselves most about is the missed chances in the first half, because some of them they really ought to have been putting away, and some of them weren't even on target. You think that header from Lewis McNell, I think it was just before half time, it might have been Corey McKeown as well, I'm not too sure. You think the one where Michael Liddell's gone clean through, but then the keeper's made a save, and it was a good save. I think JJ had one that was basically straight at the keeper as well. I wouldn't say it was straight at the keeper, but it wasn't an overly difficult save for him to make. But yeah, a really good game there for a neutral. Thought both teams went for it, which is always what you like to see. And yeah, it's been a really good start to the season for Scarborough. There was a lot of predictions in pre-season saying that, they thought they were going to go down on that. I mean, there's possibly even a bit of controversy about the first goal as well. There's one or two on Twitter saying that it was that the ball went out and stuff like that. I mean, I was too far away, so I can't really make a judgment on that. I'll have to see it again, but as I said, I think if it had been a draw today, I think that would have been about right. Obviously Spartans will feel massively hard done by with the penalty decision, but if Scarborough had lost with 10 minute play, I think it would have been really harsh based on their overall efforts this afternoon. But anyway, that is that for this video, and I'll be back tomorrow. And already this season we are visiting our 4th country of the season as I head down to Wales, not for a Welsh League game but for Wrexham against Gateshead. So until then, take care and I'll see you later.